What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So we have some massive news coming over on the global, the JP, the Korean, and most likely the traditional Chinese version of the game. We have the World Clash website is now live. If you want to go check this website out for yourself, it will be down below in the description and most likely in the comment section as well. But in this video, we're going to be breaking down the entire event so you know exactly what to expect heading into the World Clash event. There is also a SUGO Fest that has been announced as well, and I think I'll probably try and squeeze that into this video as well. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. You can see the banner here looks absolutely amazing. There is an ace character that is going to be here. Jinbei is here as well. Now actually it's interesting because this Jinbei is only available on the JP side of the game, but there is something to do with him on the global side and all the other versions, so I don't know, they might, try and skip him forward for global, but it's going to be interesting to see what they are actually going to be doing. So, here we have the prologue. A few years has passed since the Marineford Paramount War. Peace has returned to the world, but the battle was not over yet. Centered around Ace, the fighters gathered once again to prove their worth. The epic worldwide battle is here on Treasure Cruise's Extra Island. And this event will go from news o'clock on the 19th all the way to the 25th of November at 4 AM PST time. So, if you guys didn't see yesterday's video, we actually kind of went through the campaign event that just went live, and we kind of discussed the fact that it is going to be the Japanese version of the game versus everybody else for this World Clash event. Now, you can see here, number of zones ahead. So, there are 5 different zones. We have the Luffy zone, we have a Blackbeard zone, a Sakazuki zone, Sabo, and Jinbei zone. Now, each of these are going to have their own dungeon. So there's going to be 5 separate dungeons available on Extra Island. And the whole point of this is to have our players kind of like spread across all of these dungeons, fight against all of these so that we can actually go ahead and have more of the zone compared to the Japanese version of the game. So obviously we have strength, dex, quick, psi, and int. For some reason this Jinbei is going to be int, but for those of you who already know, this Jinbei that is on the JP side of the game is actually a dex character. So it's interesting that they are making him an int character for this specific event right here. So the whole point of this event is that when it goes live, there'll be 5 dungeons. You have to go ahead and select a dungeon and just basically keep running it, keep running it, keep running it. And we, on the global side of the game, are trying to earn more zone points more than the Japanese side of the game. But the thing about it is extremely difficult because there are 5 different zones. So we're going to have our players spread out across all these zones so we can get the most zones possible against the enemy. And, you'll have your different zones here, whether it be 3 and 2 or it be 1 and 4. Hopefully the global side can win because there's a pretty cool reward for the winning side. So the winning team rewards, winning team will get Toadskii Ace, Detested Bloodline early. So this is an early character, early access character that the winning side gets access to. Now the artwork obviously is absolutely amazing. It honestly looks like a legend character. But let's go through what he does. He is a Psi Shooter Free Spirit character. Captain effect, post evolution of course. Boost cruise attack by 3 times and heals by 500 HP at the end of each turn. That's a pretty decent captain effect just for a free character. His special ability is going to bind himself for 50 turns, but changes all slots to character's own type, greatly boost cruise attack and slot effects for 2 turns, and boost chain multiplier by 0.7 for 1 turn. That's a very good special ability, aside from the fact that he binds himself. Obviously, there are characters that can remove that, namely the Psy Nami, the 3-day 2-year Nami. I believe Limited Rare Kobe gets rid of it as well, but you wouldn't really run Kobe on a team with this character. But Nami, I guess you actually could fit on just a regular team to help get rid of that 50 turns of bind. But he's a pretty good special ability overall. Everyone gets a matching orb. It says greatly boost cruise attack and slot effects. So I would assume it's either a 2 times or a 1.75 times. It's probably 1.75 times because if it was a 2 times, it would state that it doubles the slot effects, doubles the attack. But because it's greatly boost, I would say it's a 1.75 times attack and orb boost for 2 turns. And then 0.7 chain boost as well. This character is actually pretty goddamn good. Psi Shooter Free Spirit, artwork's fantastic. I'm pretty happy with the way that this unit actually works. He's really, really good. And the winning team with the most ahead zones after this period, they will get the ace, plus they get 10 gems and 1 SUGO Fest exclusive guaranteed rare recruit pull. So yes, you definitely want to be on the winning side because you get the ace early before anyone else, as well as getting that extra goodie. So that's really, really awesome. Definitely, I would recommend, try and farm this as much as possible to get us over the line against the Japanese version of the game. On top of this, we have the checkpoint team rewards. The team with the most ahead points at the following checkpoint times will also get extra rewards. So after the first day, so that's 1900 PST on the 20th, which is literally 24 hours after the event has started, 2 tries at rare recruit 4-star or better, 2 feasts. You get 2 5 million feasts. That's crazy good. And there's also another checkpoint after the 22nd 1900 PST time. So this is crazy because you can potentially get an additional 4 feasts if your team is ahead at that point in time. That's freaking mental, dude. That is so, so mental. I really hope that we can get this over the Japanese version of the game because the rewards are insane. The losing side doesn't really get that much, honestly. The winning side gets a lot of shit, man. Winning side gets a lot of shit. Then we have the community stuff. So this is on how many clash points we get against, the other side of the game, or just in total. How many points total that every version of the game gets. So if we get 100 million clash points, we get 10 gems. We also get 2 Almighty Manuals, Rainbow Set of Evolvers, Hime Turtles, Cotton Candy, Tomes, Elders, and Berries as well. I would assume that we would make this relatively easily. I'm sure they've calculated how many runs everything is worth and, and all that. So I think that this would make a lot of sense, and I think we will reach this threshold pretty easily. Okay, then we have the last little thing here. We have the worldwide clash points ranking. So this is the thing that will showcase how many points you've earned in the world clash against every other user. Now, I would assume that there is going to be some ranking rewards for that. So here we have the worldwide ranking rewards. So if you are the first person in the entire world, #1 in the world for total amount of points, you get 10 guaranteed skill ups, 3 red posters, and 100 rainbow gems. I'm sure that with this event, you're definitely going to be having to spend more than 100 rainbow gems to maintain first spot, but you get 3 free tries at, SUGO Fest exclusive rare recruit and 100 gems, and that ranges all the way down here, and you can see that, even at 2,000 spot, 3,000 spot, you still get 2 free tries, 4,000, 5,000, all the way up to, it looks like it is here. Yes, at top 30,000, get at least 1 SUGO Fest exclusive rare recruit. You get 2 exclusive rare recruits at 15,000, and you only get 3 if you are literally in the first spot. But that is the worldwide event. Now, if you go to the EN/French version, depending on what type of game you're playing, whether it be the Korean or the Japanese version, this, I believe, is only for your version of the game. So there is a ranking worldwide, and there is a ranking for your own version of the game. So you can see that if you are first for your own version of the game, you can actually get 2 free tries and 20 forbidden tomes. And where do you have to be to get at least 1? At least 1 red poster. Top 5,000 in your version, you get a free legend as well as a free try at rare recruit. You get 2 free legends if you are in the top 100, which is going to be very, very, very difficult to be in the top 100 of your own version. Top 5,000 is a little bit more easier to go for, and if you're in the top 20,000, you at least get something. But that's pretty interesting that there is not only just a ranking for your version of the game, but even worldwide as well. And then there's obviously the different rankings for each version, with Luffy, Blackbeard, Sakazuki, Sabo, and Jinbei, which are the dungeons that we just talked about before. So there is a separate ranking so you can see how many points you've earned compared to everyone else in each of these different zones for the actual worldwide clash. So that's pretty cool as well. Okay, so they've actually added a how to play function for this actual website, which is great because I know a lot of people are going to still have questions even after me explaining all this. It is a little bit confusing because it's kind of an event that we haven't really had before, but let's actually read this and see if it actually gives us a little bit more insight. So we can see here it's the Japanese version versus global being everyone else. The teams will be divided between Japan version versus English, French, Korean, and traditional Chinese. Step 2, each quest is considered a zone, and the team that controls the most zones at the end of the event will be the winning team. So we need to make sure that we have at least more zones than the Japanese version of the game. As you can see here, with the Luffy zone, Japan have it, and then with this one, Japan have this one, but it looks like on this specific website, the global version is actually ahead. But that's a little bit weird anyway. But it says here that Japan have 3, global have 2. And that would say in that specific example right there that Japan would win because they have more zones. Step 3, Clash points earned vary by item. I'm not really too sure what that specifically means. There are also specific characters that can boost your earned Clash points. Be sure to check out the in-game notice to see who give you the most boost. Now, I don't think we have a full boosted list yet. We'll be going through onto the game very, very soon. But you can see if you get a turtle, it's worth 3 points, cotton candy is 6 points, and if you get a forbidden tome, that's 20 points. And with characters that give you like stat boost for the Clash points, that could also be interesting. So it is definitely going to be a very heavy pay-to-win event, so we've got to hope that we can get players that actually pull these characters, because they're going to be very, very important for this event. Step number 4, you will also be rewarded in personal Clash point ranking as well. Score high in the Clash points to get ranking rewards. As we mentioned before, you can get lots of red posters, you can get forbidden tomes and stuff like that, so there's some pretty good rewards that you can get access to. Step number 5, on the 2nd and the 4th days of the event, there will be a special sabotage quest where you can remove Clash points of the specific zone from the opposing team. Complete sabotage quest to remove points from the opposing team zone. Use this strategically and lead your team into victory, and they will not affect your own Clash points. So you can see here that with these dungeons, they'll have like the block orb symbol on each of these dungeon quests, and if you complete that, for that specific zone, instead of you gaining points for your team, you're just taking away points from the opposition. But this is only available on the 2nd and the 4th days of the event. I believe it's a 5-day event, or it might be a 6-day event. So on days 2 and 4, it's going to be a special event where you can go ahead and take points away from your opponent. This is going to be quite interesting to see how this actually works. And then step 6, strategize with your allies to win, which obviously we have the Blackbeard, the Luffy, and the Akainu Sakazuki characters. So it actually makes sense to me. I actually completely understand how this works. There's 5 dungeons. When you run one, you're earning points for that specific dungeon, for that zone, for your team, and the people who have the most zones at the end are going to be the winning side, who get access to a free legend, 10 gems, and the new ace character as well. It's got some event details here which kind of give you a little bit more insight as to what actually is going on. So it talks about, you know, you've got a certain period of time to access your rewards and stuff like that. So if you want to read, you know, the little details here, you can go ahead and do that. Here is the banner for the SUGO Fest. There is a SUGO Fest coming out. We'll be going through that in a little bit, but there actually is a special video here that is for the new upcoming event with the new World Clash, which is really, really cool. So we can see that it does detail information about the fact that, you know, Ace is going to be accessed if you do win the actual event. And for some reason, my stupid monitor is not working, but there we go. And we can see lead your team to victory and get Ace early. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see how people are, you know, going to take on this event. And I'm definitely going to be doing pulls on this SUGO Fest, hoping to get access to a couple of these brand new characters, because we don't know when they'll ever return. And, you know, they're okay. They're not terrible units. And especially that Sakazuki, man, that artwork is on point. But anyways, we're done here for the website now. As I said, the link to this website will be down below in the description if you wanted to read it for yourself. But let's go ahead and head over to the game and talk about the new upcoming SUGO Fest. Okay, so now we are back over onto the actual game, One Piece Treasure Cruise, and we can see straight away that we have the SUGO Fest World Clash has been announced. We also have the actual information here about the World Clash, how it actually works. There is the link to the event site here as well, and it gives you information about what is going to be available on each of these days. You can see actually going to the Sabotage quest on day 2 can only be played 10 times per day. I guess that's actually quite fine because, you know, that'd be kind of OP if they could just keep running it over and over again and they just reduce our points to 0. That would actually make a lot of sense. So it is a 5-day quest, so day 1, 3, and 5 are normal days, but then the Sabotage quests are available on days 2 and days 4. The winning team gets all that kind of stuff, checkpoints, all the stuff that we already went through here. Here's the item drop rewards though, so you can actually get absolute almighty manuals when you actually drop as well. They'll only drop from the ultimate difficulty, so it's going to be either a 50 or a 60 stamina quest. You can also get almighty manuals, final forbidden tomes, and regular forbidden tomes, and then the other stuff like Cola, Daimyo, Elder Turtles. So you can get some pretty crazy runs, especially if you do have the point booster characters. That's pretty freaking sick, actually. We have access to Sakazuki, Luffy, and Blackbeard. They're going to be boosted characters. Marco the Phoenix, Blackbeard, Shanks, Kuzan, Sakazuki, and then we have a whole bunch of other characters here. And then we have Super Evolution characters, Treasure Map characters, all of these characters are point booster characters, so you typically want to build teams around these characters. The thing about it is that the JP side of the game has a lot more units. Compared to Global, they have more characters that they have access to, so I don't know how unbalanced this event will be, and I'm not really too sure if that's going to make a really big difference. Hopefully it's not, because, you know, if they can just use all their really OP legends and, you know, just completely wipe the floor with everyone, then that would be kind of broken. But the fact that, you know, they might try and nerf their boosted list, that might make it a little bit easier for us to, you know, actually take on the JP side of the game. But anyways, well, let's go through the SUGO Fest that has been announced. So it will be starting November 16th, which will be in 2 days' time. And we'll go all the way to the 25th. A very, very long SUGO Fest. But let's go through it. So, the World Clash SUGO Fest is here. For a limited time, you can get your hands on characters that are very useful in the World Clash. Luffy, Sakazuki, and Blackbeard. The SUGO Fest features rate boosts for characters who are useful in the World Clash as well. What's more, in the SUGO Fest, all wanted posters are 4-star or better, which is great. The new versions of Luffy, Sakazuki, and Blackbeard will join at max level, and their post-evolutions will be boosted for the World Clash. And they have the following effect: they boost Clash points by 1.75 times, they get 1.5 times stats, and 10 turns of cooldown reduction. Recruit these characters and have the upper hand in the World Clash. Hopefully we can get our hands on these characters, because they seem like they're going to be pretty useful. Refer to the World Clash notice for more information. The new Luffy, Sakazuki, and Blackbeard will no longer be available at Rare Recruit after that period. However, they may become available again at a later date. As I said before, they're probably going to be gone straight after this SUGO Fest, and we don't know whenever they will return. So this is going to be a 3-part SUGO Fest. The first part is 3 days, so it starts on the 16th and goes all the way to the 19th, and that is actually when it starts. So the event starts when Part 2 begins. Just a little heads up for those who didn't know about that. So, for parts 1, 2, and 3, the 10+1 Rare Recruit first pull is going to be 30 gems. Okay, that's actually pretty awesome. The fact that you get 3 opportunities here out of 30 gem multi. The 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 11th multi is guaranteed to be a boosted character. So it's going to be like a rate boosted character that you can get your hands on. 3rd and 9th is going to be a SUGO Fest exclusive or one of the new characters. Man, that'd be actually kind of annoying if you get your hands on if you go to all these multis and you go ahead and get a red poster, but it's actually one of these golds. That'd actually be kind of triggering. So I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 11th should have just been guaranteed units, but. Either way, the 6th and 12th is going to be guaranteed to be a SUGO Fest exclusive or one of the new characters. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, sure. The new characters, obviously, being the Sakazuki, the Luffy, and the Blackbeard, 4- and 5-star versions. Okay, so for part 1, this is what we wanted to know. What characters are boosted on what parts? For part 1, we have Katakuri, Nico Robin, Lucci Beastman, so that's V2. We have Magellan, Dogstorm, Cruzan, V1 I believe, and also Don Quixote Rocinante, so that's Corazon, and also Heavenly Demon Doflamingo, which I believe is V1 Doflamingo. As for 5-star characters, it's the same as before, except it does have some other characters here as well. It has Akainu, Fateful Struggle to the Death, which I believe is version 2 Akainu, so I don't know why his 6-star isn't boosted, but his 5-star is boosted. That's extremely confusing. That is extremely confusing. Nico, Robin, Lucci, these are like the same characters, but then you have version 1 Kizaru and Aokiji, but the 6-star Kizaru isn't boosted, but the V1 6-star and 5-star are boosted. The 5-star Jinbei is boosted. This is a very, very confusing boosted list. As I've said before, I think that it's completely incorrect that Global has 5- and 6-star legends pullable. I feel like that's a really, really bad idea. It should just stick to 5-stars, because then they're going to start doing this. You can see that you'll have a lot of characters that are 5-star, but you also have 6-star characters that are boosted, but not the same 6-star characters will have their 5-stars boosted. And it's weird, man. It's extremely weird. I can see what they're doing, and I don't really like it, honestly. That's a really, really dog move. So here we have, for part 2, we have V2 Sanji, V2 Rayleigh, V2 Hancock, V2 Law, Cat Viper, Isho, that's Vision 1, Fujitora, and Bato, and also Whitebeard. But then you have, for the 5-star characters, V2 Cruzan. You have... who else is here? Timeskip Luffy 5-star is here. Marco is here as a 5-star character. Sengoku's here as a 5-star character. I don't know why the same 5-stars aren't 6-star boosted. That's really, really weird. And for part 3, we have Monkey D, Gart, Luffy and Ace, Frankie, V2 Fuji, NL's going to be good in the future, so if you get your hands on him, he's going to be really, really nice. Shirahoshi, version 1 Sakazuki, Cavendish, and version 1 Rayleigh. Who else is here as well? Cavendish, Crocodile is here, Sabo is here. So a pretty okay boosted list. But remember, Part 1 is going to be available for the first 3 days, and when Part 2 begins is when the World Clash begins. So choosing what opportunity to pull is going to be quite hard, actually. Especially because, you know, Part 3 is only available halfway through the event. So if you really want any of the Part 3 boosted characters, it's going to be quite hard because, you know, you're going to have to go the first couple of days without actually pulling. So, anyways, it is what it is right there. Is there any more information here? Tap the wanted poster for more information. These are just the other 6-star characters that are pullable. So, like, all the legends are pullable pretty much from what I can see here. And then for the rate boosted characters, you know, you got just a whole bunch of different rare recruit characters. I mean, we could all pretty much understand what kind of characters are going to be boosted here. As we saw, that it's pretty much going to be characters that are going to be point boosters for the Clash points for the World Clash. Understandably, those characters will be boosted for the SUGO Fest. SUGO Fest exclusive characters that do not have their post-evolutions stated will only have their pre-evolutions recruitable. See, that's so weird, man. You can't even pull the 6-star versions of the 5-star legends. That is so triggering. It makes those specific legends so much harder to pull. Both pre and post evolutions are available for rate boosted characters, though only the pre-evolutions are stated. Only the stated super evolutions can be recruited, so there are going to be some super evolutions here as well, which I don't know how I feel about that. Other than the first try, it will cost 50 gems as usual. There are no additional rewards after the 12th, and temples from rare recruit will reset between parts 1, 2, and 3. Man, that was a lot of information to go through. We just got absolutely bombarded with information about the World Clash event. So hopefully this video has kind of ironed out all the details of what you need to know for the upcoming World Clash. So to kind of reiterate, you've got all the 5 different dungeons. We're trying to get as most points as possible in at least 3 of them so that we can actually beat Japan. You know, we got to have the most points in at least 3 of the zones, and we win. We get a free legend, we get 10 gems, and we also get our hands on the exclusive ace character. But not only that, you know, you want to be earning points so you can get more ranking points, so you can get additional free legend pulls. But either way, this is a pretty interesting event. It is kind of pay to win because of these brand new characters, and they are going to be quite good. I'm definitely doing pulls on this SUGO Fest. Don't know how many pulls I'll be doing. I'll be doing pulls on Part 1 most likely because I want to actually get my hands potentially on V2 Akainu, who is going to be available on Part 1 of this SUGO Fest. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.